happening, AC Nation? Welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. This one is on Otto Hahn. Otto Hahn was a German chemist, and you can read about him actually right there on the page. Look at that. Anyways, so his card came up with a lot of questions, and it's had some questions in the past. Ever since we added these two symbols, well, there's 6 symbols, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. As soon as we started showing up these symbols, there's been a lot of questions that have come up. And the reason is why we have constants, infinites, on certain cards. Now, this card, as you can see here, actually, maybe I should bring it up to the top. Here, it says choice. So you're going to make a choice between 2 different things. One that is about morale. Now, morale is always a one-time thing. So we could hold it on and be a constant for morale. That means you'd get 500 this, 500 here, 500 morale. Actually, I guess it would be increased 500 morale here every turn, and then you'd be done in 6 turns. Or 6, yeah, you'd be done with the whole game in 6 turns because you'd be at 3,000 points. Does that make any sense at all? No, it doesn't. The reason why it's a constant, down here again, constant and infinite, is because it says choose increase your strength by 500 and lose 500 morale. Again, morale is always a one-time thing. Or increase your morale by 500 and lose 500 strength. That 500 strength is not a one-time thing. Strength is always going to be a constant unless the card says otherwise. So in here, if I was to play this card and it would be a instant and 1, I lose 500 strength, but I get 500 morale for losing that strength. Does that make any sense at all? No, it really doesn't. I want to be able to, I would want to keep morale as much as morale as possible, but I can't continue to accumulate huge amounts of morale or the game would be over very quick. So what this means is choice, increase your strength by 500 constantly, and lose 500 morale, and that just happens once, but it is permanent to your morale count, or increase morale by 500 points. So I increase my morale, so I go from 500 to 1,000, and lose 500 strength. And of course, he is in a specific country, so that land, that one land, is affected by that negative 500 strength. So you might want to put him in a land that's most likely not going to be attacked, because that negative 500 strength could be detrimental to the survival of that country, the people there. But I want to increase my morale. Most people want to increase their morale in historical conquest, so they're going to increase the morale and decrease the strength by 500 points. Now, this also brings up another question. Well, what if I discarded him? Well, like we said it last week, you cannot discard the same turn that you played that card. So he at least has to stay in play for 1 round. Now, say the next round I decide I'm going to discard him because I don't like that losing 500 strength. You can do that. Great thing is, morale is always a permanent. So if you added 500 to your morale, you don't lose 500 morale until a card says decrease your morale by 500 points. At that point, then you lose 500 morale. But if you discard this card, it does nothing to the morale that is already in play. So I hope that helps you understand. Layla, thank you so much for submitting this question. I'm going to post in here that we were able to answer the question. If there's any comments or questions, I know in the feed there are. I'm going to show one comment here. It says no, because because by that logic, you'd also lose 500 strength every turn, eventually killing yourself. While that seems possible, it does not seem like a mechanic meant to be represented in this game. So, yes, of course, that's actually looking at it from a different point of view, but Joseph, you are correct. Logically, most of the abilities in this game are based on logic. We wanted it that way so that you could actually figure out exactly what the cards mean without having a lot of banter between both players. So if a card says you gained 500 morale and and this has actually come up, you gain 500 morale and didn't have those symbols at the bottom, you say, well, I gain 500 morale every turn. No, morale's a one-time thing. Logically, at 500 points every turn, you would last 6 turns and the whole, 6 rounds, and the whole game would be over. Who wants to play a 6-round game? That's like a 20-minute game. No way. So I can't think of any other logical abilities. I know you a lot of the players can. We'll just chalk this up to brain fog due to the flu and call it good. But yes, come into these questions, these comments here. We actually went back and forth a little bit in here, so you can actually see a little bit of the back and forth. Again, please put your comments in here. If you don't like this, how we've ruled on this, please add them in here and we will continue the discussion. Again, this is a discussion board. On all of these, we have multiple comments and questions and concerns. So add your comments, your questions. Layla, because she was submitted to this group and it's a public group, she could actually add her own questions, add her own cards to ask questions about. We'll answer them on this feed. So thanks so much for joining us. Don't want to make this too long. We don't want to be short, concise, straight to the point, and then be done. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next time. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.